What's good, Mom? So I'm about to head into the gym. Got my favorite water bottle here, filled up to the max. But essentially, I wanted to kind of give you guys, I guess you could say motivation, but it's more like advice, really. That a lot of the things you're going to be looking for when it comes to success and things like that, you have to kind of immerse yourself in the entire goal, in the entire vision that you have, right? And so for me, getting fit and eating better is like something I'm working on personally, right? But with what I'm saying, that would also mean that I would also have to immerse myself with people who are trying to get themselves fit. I would have to immerse myself in activities that help me reach that goal, and so forth. So I think the greater issue for a lot of people is trying to figure out how they're going to be able to balance keeping the things they love and enjoy and being around the people that they love and enjoy, and then reaching the goal they want. I'm here to tell you that I have learned that in reality, you will have to give one of the two up. And that's kind of the part that most people hate, but it's the facts. And I think it's the cold facts, because think about it this way. If you had a boat or a ship, right, and you planned on reaching a destination, and there was probably about, let's say, on a crew of like 30 people, right? You had 30 people and you're the captain. On a crew of 30, you had 12 of them that were rebellious, meaning when you gave an order, they wouldn't follow it. Not that they couldn't, not that they weren't trainable, and not that they weren't like competent. It's that they understood it, but didn't want to reach the goal. They didn't want to reach the result or give you what you're asking for. That's kind of what you're up against. So you kind of have to either turn them into like little boat slaves and keep them down there rowing the boat forward, or you have to throw them overboard for mutiny, to avoid mutiny, honestly. So it's one of those things that you're going to have to deal with just in life in general. Like, you're going to join groups and organizations and paths and get ideas and things like that, and there's just going to be people who don't get it. They don't want to join it. They don't want to be a part of it. And you can't really convince them. You can't really seduce them into the things that you enjoy. Or honestly, you can't seduce people into things that is in their best benefit. One of the things I've learned from a mentor who makes a lot of more money than me and is way more successful and dealt with way more people, and this is probably not something that many people kind of get, but he basically said people run from pain or walk towards comfort. So I'm probably butchering that, but basically the concept is this: if I gave you 90 days to get fit, get the body you want, or if I gave you a year for that matter, how quickly and how urgently would you get to that goal, right? And then on top of that, in regards to this video, how quickly and how urgently will the people around you move for you to reach that goal? And then on the other hand, if the doctor gave you a diagnosis that you only had 90 days left, not that you die, but you only had 90 days left to be able to get the body you want. You know, like it could be, a sickness. Maybe you just have so much mobility left and so much time left. Maybe it doesn't have to be as extreme as death, but something as extreme as not reaching your goal, and you have a deadline of 90 days to do it based on this doctor's diagnosis. Would you be able to do it with your current mindset, or would you have to make some very, very immediate changes with how do you think about a lot of the things you're doing right now? And so I think for most people, it comes down to, I'll get to it when I want to or when I feel like it. But in reality, you kind of have to willfully be urgent. You have to kind of fight for your space and your results and your vision and things like that. So if you're expecting like one day I might get it, you might not. You need to make sure you set your own deadline on how you're going to get things, And for me, that's like working with a coach or maybe following some kind of program or some plan or something like that. But I think for most people, they feel as though if I just keep making what I feel is the good decision every day, I'll get to a goal. But there has to be some level of urgency to reach the goal. And I'm learning that, you know, with age and things like that. But I think I generally felt that even when I was younger, because for the most part, even like wanting musical instruments or like wanting to create an album and things like that, eventually I got to the point to where it was like, I have to do this shit. Like, there's nothing stopping me. I can't wait for no record label. I can't wait for nobody to sign me or something like that. And so I think for a lot of people, that's going to be the biggest struggle they have, is realizing that they have to be the one to create the energy, the resources, the options. You got to open the door yourself. You got to reach for the doorknob, you know. And so I think that's pretty much my thoughts on like immersing yourself in the goal, realizing that you have to be the one to get to the goal, get to the vision. Now, I also learned this too. When people say goal or vision, you kind of turn your brain off. But here, I want to break that. What we mean, when I say we, I mean people who talk in these videos and crap. What we mean when we say goal is that very thing that wakes you up in the morning that causes you to put your feet on the floor. So for example, you don't do that because you got to pay rent. You do that because if you don't pay rent, you will lose your house or you will lose the comfort that you have or have to move and things like that. So this is how you need to think of the word goal. Whatever that thing that is that raises you out of the bed and lets you put your feet on the floor, stand up, wash your ass, and get out the door, that thing right there is the thing you need to make sure that you yourself is the source of that passion. I mean, if not yourself, I mean, whatever drives you, because, you know, some people are religious and things like that. But I mean, essentially, you understand very clear where you're going, you know, very clear. Like, you shouldn't be waiting for any direction unless it be like, you know, like I said, your culture and things like that. That's kind of pre-written. It's already there for you. Don't deviate. But that's pretty much what I have for you on this. I'm about to finish this drive and get to the gym. This old guy next to me, he is bumping this. Bro right here got this Mini Cooper convertible, shit fire. So what's good, y'all? I just finished the workout, so I'm out here in the massage chair in the black car spot. And pretty much, I'm working on back and legs today, so I'm just getting a quick little back massage, and then I'm gonna get in the red light therapy. But, so yeah, at my gym, we have the really cool red light therapy, and I hope it's not large. So yeah, essentially, this is what we're looking like. I got my favorite water bottle. So for a lot of people, when I talk about immersing themselves in success, this is what I mean. Like today, I had no real urgent intent to come to the gym other than recovery. Honestly, I came in here to just make sure my muscles got some really deep work. I made sure I got some good stretches in. I walked, and now I'm gonna just get massages and skin beautification. And
welcome. Your full body red light session starts now.
This sunbed features the vibra-shape function. This plate generates vibrations of different frequencies. You have selected you have selected program 4. This body ventilation selected. This setting can be changed using the plus and minus buttons.
so yeah, this is pretty much it. I just sit and chill. So a lot of people won't do this. A lot of people don't do this. They won't commit to this. They won't do this every day. You know, I tell people try to do 3 times a week, at least an hour. But if you can do 30 minutes, that's even good too. This is going to be something that you're going to see yourself doing most of the time alone, unless you find a group of people that you can join like a community or a team and stuff like that. And that way you can really put your mind to every goal. So now I'm about to head home and leave the gym. I'm about to show you another part of being immersed. And what I mean by that is what you do after you leave the gym. So a lot of people, when they leave the gym, they'll find themselves, looking for some food or something. But the main thing you want to think about is refueling, not necessarily just eating something, but what to eat. So like, we could go to McDonald's or something like that, right? But it's not necessarily that it's McDonald's, it's what we order. So if we go to McDonald's, are we gonna order a large fry and soda and shit like that? Or can we think of something a little bit better towards our goals? Alright, so we just pulled up to the grocery store and we're about to go get some fruit and some more protein snacks. So one of the main things to think about is that whenever you're going to try and refuel after the gym, you want to get things that are immediate, very quick. They get you what you need very quickly and you don't have to think too much. So it's good to try to get things that are like fresh fruit, meals that are already prepped and things like that. Or if you could find like, quick little meals that are already made. A lot of grocery stores have like pre-cooked meals that are ready to go for you as well. So we in here. I think the first thing I'm gonna go for is some fresh fruit. So the cool thing about these, they have these $5 bowls. Best deal in the block. I'm not a fan of melon, so pineapple's where it's at. Quick little snack trays like this are good too, but as you can see, it's not a lot of variety. And you can get it a lot cheaper if you buy it separately. Get a bag of carrot sticks, some cherry tomatoes, and you're good. A salad like this is good too. $5 or $6. It's pretty good, but it looks like you'll probably only get like maybe 10 grams of protein just by looking at it. I actually found this one a really good deal right here. Coffee flavored protein shakes with 30 grams of protein plus caffeine. Buy one, get one, of course. Fruit is a great way to get your energy back. Always get fresh fruit, especially strawberries. They have guarana, which gives you a lot of good natural energy. Supremely sweet is a little cheaper. There you go. Digital deal all day. And these are the prepared meals I was talking about. So they have basically kitchens that are prepared meals for you that you can just warm up at home. And they taste pretty damn good. So for about the price of a full meal at McDonald's, you can get something like this. $35 grams of protein. 430. That's kind of crazy. I might have to buy some next week. You can always grab a boar's head sandwich. 46 grams of protein, 670 calories, amazing. See, this is what I'm looking like right now. And you want to avoid like the snacks and the cookies and the cakes and stuff like that. Cookies and cakes and stuff, they taste good and they're great and stuff in small amounts, but the key thing is you want to make sure you're keeping track of that stuff, because you know it's easy to go overboard with foods like that simply because they have what we call low density foods. I know these are high density foods, very low in calories for a little bit of food. So it's not really the best option if you're trying to like lose weight or, you know, build muscle for that matter. And also just found these SodaStream flavors. I'm gonna grab one of these too. So this is a good way to get soda if you want to cut out all the bull crap. It's a little bit of a watered down version of soda. Dr. Pete for $5.39, I'm sure. So if you're a fan of Pepsi, some of them have like Dr. Pepper and stuff like that, or Dr. Pete. But try your best to find what works for you and what tastes the best. Oh, this is $4.19. I might take this instead of the Dr. Pete. Remember to always check the deals you got going on in your grocery store, like this, because you will have things that are like really, really good that are on sale really, really low. And this would be because grocery stores are notorious for how much waste they have. And so in order to get rid of it and reduce waste, they got to sell it. So look for really, really good deals like that. Like you'll find stuff like this. This is all gone. And really good stuff too, just because it's old, not because it's, you know, broken or anything. My son, he actually loves these 12 grams of protein, and we just basically break them up into little pieces. So I'll get 3 of these, it's like 90 cents. It's nothing. So they got different versions, peanut butter, chocolate chip. And you can check out the macros and all the cool stuff here too. So that way you're not panicking as a parent. So you can get the good stuff. 12 grams of protein, 6 grams of sugar, 5 grams of fiber. So it's a good way to replace it. All right, so this is my little post-workout haul, and this is pretty much gonna last me through the weekend. This ain't just for one trip. So this is the extras. We got some drinks. These will last us for the week. Getting some soda into our system. This fresh fruit is gonna last us through the weekend. This should last us about 2 days, and these should last us probably about a day. I'm probably gonna drink these honestly today. So all in all, this was a good little trip. If you guys want any more videos like this, let me know. Anything specific about like what to look for, what to shop, or what's on sale, put it in the comments. But stuff like that is gonna be a little bit too specific for a video like this. But I'm trying to really focus on giving you guys general tips and options so you can really, really hone in what works for you in the gym. But you can also pick up stuff like this. Protein oats, things like that. One really cool hack I've heard of is some people, they'll add protein powder to some of their oatmeal too. Might not taste the greatest, but it works. And you also can do this too. We talked about protein shakes. These are good meal replacement shakes as well that you can just drink right after the gym. No cooking, no thinking. You don't have to really, you know, waste any mind energy. You could be working while you're eating, you know? So if this was helpful, let me know. And make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I'll make more videos like this for you guys. I'll be back soon.